Hi, welcome to today's gentle practice. I'm going to be using a couple of props today. So I have a rolled up meditation cushion that I will be using as a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a couple of pillows. And I'm also going to be using 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, you can grab a couple of thick books. Today's practice will be good for those of you who are maybe recovering from an illness, feeling under the weather, or if you're just simply feeling physically burnt out. I will guide us into each pose today, and then I will remain silent in each pose to give you time to focus on your body and breath. So let's go ahead and begin. We'll start seated comfortably on the floor, keeping the spine straight but relaxed. Chin is slightly tucked. If it feels okay for you, you can go ahead and close your eyes. We'll begin just by coming into the present moment, leaving behind whatever was happening before we began this practice. I'm trying not to worry too much about what will come after. Maybe go ahead and set an intention for your practice today. Maybe you want to use each pose as a place of meditation. Or perhaps you use each pose as a place of prayer for healing. Go ahead and take one more deep inhale here through the nose. And then exhale through the nose or mouth. Go ahead and slowly open your eyes if they're closed. We'll start by just doing some simple shoulder rolls, taking the shoulders up towards the ears, back and down. Doing this a few times in one direction. Then going the other direction, so up to the ears and then forward and down. Go ahead and bring the hands back down to the thighs, take the chin to the chest. And on an inhale, take the right ear to the right shoulder. Resting here for a few breaths. Maybe you want to bring in some gentle movements with the chin up and down or side to side. On an exhale, take the chin back to the chest. And then inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Again, maybe making those small movements with the chin up and down or side to side. And then on an exhale, return the chin to the chest. And then inhale, lift the gaze forward. From here, take the right hand down to the floor, and then inhale the left arm up, and then exhale, gentle reach to the right, keeping the hip bones planted, or the sits bones planted on the floor. Feeling a stretch down the left side of the body. Inhale, come to center. We'll go to the other side. So inhale, raise the right arm. Exhale, lean to the left. Sits bones stay planted on the floor. Inhale, come back to center. Go ahead and come over to your hands and knees. And we'll flow through some cat-cow here. So on an inhale, lift the tailbone, chin and chest. And then exhale to round the back, tucking the chin and tucking the tailbone. Inhale to lift. Then exhale to round everything under. Continue this for a few more breaths at your own pace. Last time, inhale, lifting the chin and chest and tailbone. Exhale, round the back. From here, set the hips back onto the heels to come into child's pose. Resting here for a few breaths. And inhale, come back to your tabletop position. Stretch the right leg out long behind you and tuck the toes under. And then press the heel back toward the wall behind you, feeling a stretch down the calf. And then set the knee back down and we'll move into lizard pose. So take the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Then let the back leg go long down the mat so that the hips go forward and down. You have the option to stay up on the hands or to come down onto the forearms. You also have the option to let the right knee fall out to the side and rolling onto the outer edge of the right foot. Resting here. If you're on your forearms, go ahead and place the hands back down onto the mat. And then send the hips back and begin to straighten the right leg. Toes lift toward the ceiling, coming into a half split. Letting the neck relax. And place the right sole of the foot back down onto the ground and return to your tabletop position. Sit your hips back, coming into child's pose again. Breathing here. Returning to your tabletop position, and then taking the left leg out long behind you, tuck the toes under, and then aiming the heel back toward the wall behind you for a calf stretch. And sending the knee back down to the ground. We'll come into lizard pose on the left. So take the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Sink the hips forward and down. Right leg goes out long behind you. And then you have the option to stay up on the hands or come down into the forearms. And then you also have the option of letting the left knee, fall out to the side and rolling onto the outer edge of the left foot. Letting the neck relax. If you're down on the forearms, go ahead and place the hands back down onto the mat. Place the left sole of the foot back down onto the floor. Shift the hips back, straighten the left leg, and lift the left toes toward the ceiling for half split. Go ahead and bend back into the left leg. Place the left sole of the foot back down onto the ground and return to your tabletop position. Set the hips back and return to a seated position. From here, we'll take the legs out about as wide as the hips, maybe a little bit wider. And then aim your chest toward your right knee. Inhale here. And then exhale, fold over your right leg. And then inhale, lift the chest. From here, go ahead and grab your bolster, pillows, and your blocks. I'm going to place my blocks underneath my bolster. You don't have to do this part. It just brings the ground a little bit closer to you. And then we're just gonna fold over our pillows or bolster and then rest down on the right cheek. Taking several breaths here. And then inhale, come back to center. And then we'll aim our chest towards the left knee. Inhale here. And then exhale, fold over the left leg. Finding stillness and silence. And then inhale, slowly lift the chest. And we'll return to our fold over our bolster. So inhale to lengthen. Exhale, placing the chest and left cheek down onto the bolster or pillow. Inhale to come back to center. From here, we'll make our way into a reclined butterfly position. I'm going to use my props again here, so I will place my blocks underneath my bolster. You also have the option of doing this without props. And then placing the bolster right at my lower back. Lowering down, placing the soles of the feet together. And then arms can be down at the sides or resting on the belly. Inhale to slowly lift back up to seated. Take your props and move them out of the way. And then we will come to lay down on our backs, pulling the knees into the chest. And then letting the arms go long out to the sides or make goalpost arms. And then let the knees fall over to the left. And gaze can remain up at the ceiling or over to the right. Inhale, slowly come back to center. And on an exhale, let the knees fall to the left. And then let the knees fall to the right, and then gaze can fall to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Place the soles of the feet down onto the ground. And we'll move into our final resting pose. So here you'll have the option of coming into savasana, letting the legs go long, arms down at the sides, palms facing up. And as an alternative, you can do legs up the wall. So to do that, have your mat near a wall and then come to sit next to the wall. And as you lean back, kind of pivot around, let the legs go up the wall. Head comes down. Arms can be beside you or on the belly. Resting here. Maybe taking the first several breaths as a moment to scan from the tips of the toes to the top of the head. Noticing if you're holding any remaining tension anywhere. and allowing that tension to melt away on an exhale. So this is where I will leave you today. Thank you for practicing with me. Wishing you much healing and happiness.